Hi there! I mentioned in the previous video that the idea with people is that you should not only try to make them feel liked, or you should not only try to make them feel independent. You should try to aim for a mix of both. And if you want to show appreciation for someone, what you should try to communicate is something that strikes a balance between those needs. For example, I have really enjoyed talking with you. If you ever like to chat again or grab a coffee sometime, I would love that. But no pressure if you're not interested. But the thing is that you should not say that out loud. If you say that out loud, that won't do. That won't do at all. Why? Because you are bringing up the explicit attention to the nature of the relationship. And depending on your tone, your message will come across in many different ways. We will get to tone later, but now I want to explain the different ways you will communicate with people. Let's say you have been talking with someone for a while. You have enjoyed the conversation and you would like to grab a coffee with them sometime. The first option is to say nothing. Hope they eventually invite you. It can work, but it usually has a fairly low success rate because the other person might simply assume you are not interested, or that they might be waiting for you to make the first move. The second option is to say something bold on record. What does bold on record mean? Just directly ask. Let's grab a coffee sometime. That's it. It might work because people often appreciate honesty. However, it can also feel a little abrupt, especially if the other person doesn't know you very well. You usually want people to feel comfortable around you for reasons we'll talk about in the future. The third option is to ask in a more polite way. Excuse me, I don't want you to put you on the spot on anything, but would you like to grab a coffee sometime? That's what linguistics calls negative politeness, because you are appealing to the other person's independence. You're showing they are free to say no without feeling guilty. The fourth option is to ask in a friendlier way. Hey, we should grab a coffee sometime. That appeals more to friendship. It makes the other person feel like you are already on the same team. If you live in a more collectivist culture, this is often the strategy that works best. I want to talk about the difference between individualist and collectivist cultures later because it's actually fascinating, but for now just notice that different cultures often prefer different ways of asking. Now, the fifth option is the one we tend to struggle the most as neurodivergent people, but it's probably the one people use the most. I'll mention 3 on-record methods: bold on record, positive politeness, and negative politeness. The last one is off-record speech. Why off-record? Because you are not mentioning the invitation directly. You are just hinting at it and hoping the other person notices. To give you an example, you say something like, hey, I have been meaning to try the new coffee shop downtown. Or you can also say, I usually go to read at this cafe on Saturdays. That's it. You hint at an activity. If the other person is interested, they might say, oh, I would love to go sometime. If they don't notice, or if they notice and simply are not interested, you can just continue the conversation. Because after all, you were only talking about a coffee shop. It is my belief that off-record speech will be one of the most important things you will have to learn about neurotypical conversation ever. We will talk much more about it in the next video. My name is Mercedes Casamelis and I hope you learned something today. Thank you.